And
Yeah.
This is what, a $35
Or a
bottle?
little bit about this bottle. It is $30 to $35 MSRP, depending on your state. It is about 4 to 6 years, same age as the Rebel barrel proofs or cast strengths, and
Wow.
it is 110 proof. So this should be, if it's not already, sitting on your shelf. It will be, if it's not on your shelf already, it will be in the next maybe couple weeks, month.
So is this a newer release?
This came out at the beginning of this year.
Oh, no way.
Mhm.
Where did you get this?
I got it at the ABC. I like looking at the
Oh.
color first. This is a bit lighter than the last one, but I mean, it's also half the price.
Nah, you know I love a good weeder too, man. Oh, the nose is so good. See, this is where things get interesting because it's like, what was that baseline that we established earlier? Because this to me is a better nose, but is it like an 8? No, it's not. This is like a true 7, I think, to me.
Yeah, this is certainly a much more forward nose, stronger.
To me, it smells like a weeder. And so whatever that means to you, and you know, like honey, vanilla, blah, 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 that sort of thing, caramel, all the kind of the sweet notes that come along with a weeded bourbon, they are there.
I'm telling you, every single Rebel that I have, every single one, I get like a chocolatey coffee note off of it. I can't escape it.
Oh,
I get it on the nose, I get it on the palate, I get it on the finish. And I'm a sucker for it. So that's why I love Rebel so much. I don't get the same thing off of its counterparts.
While you were talking, I took a sip because I'm trying to figure out how good is a weeded bourbon this available and $35. That's wild, dude. And 110 proof, right? So we're talking $35 weededs. You could get a Weller Special Reserve.
Yep.
Which is hard to find, which is still crazy to me. And then, or you could get like a Larceny, which is like what, like 92 proof.
And it's $30.
Same price.
You can get Green River Weeded, which is
fantastic.
What, 90 proof? 100 proof?
I think it's 90 proof. But we're talking about 110 proof weeded for $35.
It's like people talk about, you know, benchmark full proof being like best budget high proof bourbon out there. This might be the benchmark full proof of weeded bourbon.
Finish is short. That's okay. It doesn't drink like 110 proof, but I've been telling people for a while now as I wipe the sweat from my brow. Lord have mercy, dude. It's like I'm eating hot wings up in here. Call this hot ones and get sued. I think this might be the best value in bourbon. Straight up, dude. Not in bourbon, in weeded bourbons because of how the proof is. But we got to blind it. I mean, not right now, but we got to blind it. We have to, I think. I think that's like the blind that the people want. So tell us in the comments if you want a blind of this, which you do. So just leave a comment and tell us how much you want it.
Yep, let us know.
Dude, it's really good. It's really simple, and it's just a good, solid weeded bourbon. But for $35, that's a straight up no-brainer, assuming it's not allocated. So when I looked it up, it said that it was slightly allocated. Do you think that's true? Where did they get that information?
I don't know if it's allocated in the sense that certain stores like just don't have it.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, talking to a couple friends of mine, I think certain states haven't gotten it yet.
Fair enough. Maybe that's what they mean.
So maybe that's the allocation. They're just rolling it out state by state as their stock becomes available, since it is brand new. This came out the end of December of last year. So
it doesn't count for 2024.
I mean, it depends. I think they announced it at the end, maybe, or maybe it finally hit the distillery. I don't know.
This ain't going on a list of any sorts other than best bang for the buck.
Oh, Fred Minnick put Larceny in his top, though.
Bro, but that...
Put this up against a Larceny Barrel Proof. Are you telling me that that Larceny Barrel Proof is 2 times as good as this?
Yes. I think it is. I actually do. I actually do think it probably is.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
No,
I came here to prove a point.
I do appreciate that. But I also think Larceny Barrel Proof is such a stupid good value.
It is.
Like,
it absolutely is.
God, it's so good for what it is. Now, I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about like the Willet Purple, the weeded, is that, you know,
this
8 times better than this.
Bottle.
Yeah, I think this would. I actually think the Willet would beat it in a blind, and I want to
just to
I want to do some of these
off.
things I want to do some of these things so badly now. That's what's fun about some of these budget ones is like, dude, they're not going to knock your socks off, right? This isn't a William LaRue Weller. Look, for $35, no brainer. I'm going to give it a score, but just understand the score. And I'm not going to include the value in it for me. So I think I gave the nose the same, a 7, even though I think the nose is a little bit better than the last one. I think for the palate, I've got to go 6.5. And I think for the finish, I got to go a 6. I know it seems low. Oh my God, the same score as the pepper.
That's what you get for not using decimals.
I did. I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, half decimals don't count. Get in the weeds a little bit, you know?
I know, I could have gone 6.6. I just don't think it's worth more than 6.5. But I think it's great. You got to remember, it's $35. That pepper is basically twice as much, and it scored the same. Yeah. So that's a great score for a $35 bottle that you should be able to find.
All right, my score, I think I'm going to go a 7.1 on the nose, which is 0.2 points higher than I gave the pepper. They're drastically different noses. I think I'll go like a 6.6 maybe on the palate, and I'll go a 6.1 on the finish. So we're pretty much in the same range here.
So what are you thinking about that? Ooh, it scored higher than the pepper now. So it came, for me, it was a 6.5. For you, it scored a full point higher, 6.62, and the total 6.56. So it beat out the pepper. What are you seeing on that finish that makes you, that you're digging about it? For me, it just felt a little short, but what's there is great.
I don't think it's a short finish.
I actually don't think
it's just a weak finish.
Maybe that's a better term for it, because as I'm sitting here saying that, I still have it on the tongue. I'm still tasting it.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's a little weak.
So it hangs around. It's not prominent. Like, you aren't getting a second wind of notes off of it. It's just continuing what's on the palate, and it hangs around for a good 30 seconds to a minute and a half after your sip. Which I like a good long finish. It allows me to take more time between sips, meaning that I don't get messed up as fast.
So there you go. I don't have anything else to say about it other than I think your point's proven. I think when it comes to budget weeders, I'm just going to be a broken record for a second. I want to do a blind, and I want to see what's the best budget weeder. And I think this one stands a very good chance of taking the crown.
Well, put up some larceny, Weller Special Reserve.
Yeah, I think just like the normal ones, not like the barrel proof larceny. Yeah. I think the thing that this has going for is that proof. I think once that extra proof is what's going to really bump it, over the finish line for the others.
For
nice
sure.
bottle. Thanks, dude. Thanks for bringing this one, man.
Yeah, man. Happy to.